What's going down? Oh my gosh. How are you guys? Fine, I hope. Fine, I hope. Man, today is hold on, let me see. All right. Who's here? Jerry's here. What's going on, brother? How are you guys, sir? Oops, sorry about that, guys. How is everyone? Tough. Man, today I was out enjoying the beautiful weather here in the great state of Nebraska, Bellevue to be exact. Hanging out with some friends and getting a little bit of what is that called? The um what is that when you have the fire going, and what is that, the pit grill, the grill pit, or whatever that is? That was like fun, and hanging out with some good people and talking some good shit and laughing and joking and all that good stuff. So yeah, that's what I did today. How about you guys? What did you guys do today? Fire pit, thank you. Yeah, man, that's what I did today. I just kind of hung out and we had a good time, great conversation, all that good stuff. So yeah, that's what I did today. Jerry said, "Man, we was just chilling. Hey, what's going on, Renita? How you doing, dear?" Today, hold on. Let me make sure got our stuff going. So, um, how you doing, Anya? How was your movie, dear? Good, 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 good. I love hearing that. I love hearing that. Miss Anya's like, we out here living our best life. Okay. Hey, what's going on, Rebecca? How are you guys? How's your day going, Renita? Okay. Picked up some new birds for the cats. It's funny. Love it. Anyway, man. So today, um, right, yeah, I read that. And 8 babies. Okay, sweet. Okay. All right, so today, ladies and gentlemen, today's thing that we're gonna be doing today is kind of fearless unfiltered Q&A edition. I was out most of the day today, so I didn't really. I have other stuff already ready and all that stuff, but I didn't feel like compiling it and putting it together. So instead, what I did was I had an idea for a show, because you guys know we do this every so often. We'll do like a weekly Q&A type thing, right? So this time I said I had a bunch of questions that were already compiled from being a a life coach for so many years, and I just never did anything with them. Like people would send me all kinds of different stuff. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna put it in Chat GPT, and then I'll let it kind of compile the questions in such a way, and then I'll just post them, put them up so y'all can see it, and we'll kind of read them together. Okay. So this is so I've seen some of the questions. I saw them, but I didn't see them. If that makes any sense. You know, when you're looking at something, but you're not really looking at it to pay attention. You're looking at it to put it where it needs to go. So that's what I did. So tonight, this is gonna be kind of like a Q&A on myself, and then as in fearless culture fashion, I'm gonna turn those questions around on you. So people ask me questions, and I'm gonna ask you questions based off the questions that people ask me. Cool, cool. I knew you guys were like that. All right. So before we get started, you guys already know what I'm gonna ask you about. So it has been 9 days now. How have you guys been doing with this? Yes. Hey, Cassandra, how are you? Look at that. I feel like I know her very well, and yet I've never met the woman. But welcome to Ask Fearless, Cassandra. But that's not what you go by. That's Sandy. What do you don't go by Cassandra? You do not. Well, what do you go by? That's not what you go by. What do you go by? Doing well, okay. It's keeping me aligned. Okay, perfect. My guy said I'm doing well and keeping my word. Perfect. And so here's the thing. One of the things that we've been talking about. Hold on. Yep, Saul is right. Okay, Sandy. That's why I was thinking. I'm like, no, you don't go by Cassandra. Sorry, you don't go by that. I knew it was Sandy. Well, welcome, Sandy. Hello. Welcome to Axe Fearless. Everybody say hello to Sandy. Good evening, Miss Jennifer. How are you? I know that you are, ma'am. Perfect. Perfect. If you guys ever see Sandy, she's usually the person that's she started this getting well thing, and she's been doing it for many years, actually several years now. Lost a bunch of weight, eating what she sticks in her mouth, and biking. A lot of biking. So when I had a bike, I would send her my accomplishments or whatever. So now I actually go walking, Sandy. I don't bike as much anymore, but I know that you do. So congratulations and keep up the good work. What? Anita's here too? Man, are we lucky today or what, people? Hello, Anita. How are you, ma'am? We started doing this segment before we get started with everything. And on May 15th, 9 days ago, we all decided that we were going to start keeping our word not only to ourselves, but to everybody else outside of us as well. And so I'm asking everybody, how are they doing with this? Because keeping your word is it's a pretty big ordeal. And I'm asking people how they feel about it because everybody feels differently. Some people feel good. Some people feel crappy about it. I don't know. That's why I want to know. That's why I ask questions. So Miss Anita, she's very good at keeping her word too. Obviously, Sandy is as well. That is it, ma'am. Your word is all you have. And I believe there was some biblical book that said, in the beginning, there was the word. So, boom. All right, so all right, here we go. Let's start our congratulations. So if you're new to what we do, the reason why we're clapping is number one, because we're clapping for ourselves. Because if you don't clap for you, nobody else will. Number two, it gives people permission to clap for you. And number three, you're clapping because you showed up. Most people won't even do that. So clap for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Clap for yourselves. I'll let it go one more time, and I will shut it off, for it is extremely annoying. Are we good? We got it out? Perfect. All right, let's shut it off. God. I love it when I started. Here's the thing. I think I would be okay with it if it was like a continuation. But being that it stops and then it restarts and stops, then restarts, that's annoying. Extremely annoying. Thank you. And this is also day 64. Thank you. Anita, you haven't been here in a little while, but yes, day 64 straight. We have not missed any days. We've been here riding it out together. And I thank my people all the time for showing up, man. Y'all can literally be doing anything. You could be anywhere. But you're here with me, and I appreciate that. Thank you, guys. So before we get started, I do come with a warning. If you are easily offended, this is probably not the channel for you. YouTube has I'm going to assume over 100 channels and videos out there, and you are more than welcome to go visit any of them. Here on Axe Fearless, we go deep. We talk about our dreams, our goals, our aspirations, and our problems. We get deep, okay? We talk about our pain. We talk about the shit that's prevented us from moving forward. We talk about a lot of stuff. So if taking accountability, responsibility, ownership is not for you, please go somewhere else. This isn't for you. But if you don't mind picking up a couple strategies, some techniques and gifts, then well, pull up a seat and welcome to Axe Fearless. As your host and life coach, I've been coaching for 23 years, on and off for the most part. And I'm just here to give you some tools, techniques, and strategies to help. That's all I'm trying to do. I just want to help you. If you want the help, take it. If you don't, I'm okay with that too. Okay? Now, hold on. Please hold. Today, like I said, is season 7, episode 64 of 100 Q&A with me. Right? I got a bunch of questions already there, so we're just going to kind of jump in. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I've ever told you this or not, but throughout my life, I've been hated on. I've been booed. People have just not liked me. And, Through it all, you're gonna have to keep moving. You're gonna have to put one foot in front of the other while people shit all over you. They're gonna see that you post stuff. They're never gonna say anything. They're never gonna congratulate you. They're never gonna say, you know what, man? Good job, bro. I'm proud of you. You have to say that for yourself. But from the depths of hell and from the chandeliers of heaven, I need two words from you all. Can I get my hell yeah? Can I get a hell yeah? So we can get this started. Regardless of what the haters say, regardless of what they do, they don't give a shit about us. We're the only ones who care about us. Can I thank you so much for my hell yeah? I'm gonna shut this off because it's fucking annoying. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Miss Renita. Chris again. My boy Jer Bear. Miss Anya. And Mr. Dady. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, Miss Anita. I appreciate that so much. Where's did I see a Jer Bear and Rebecca? I don't know if I said, you know what, whatever they got going on, they will return quickly. But man, thank you guys so much for showing up. Like I said, Q&A with me today. So okay, awesome. So let's get going. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's jump in here. And like I told you guys, I don't know what a lot of these are. I've seen them to put them out, but I haven't actually sat down and read them. So we'll read them together. Y'all cool with that? Of course you are. Okay, so they got one kid home tonight. All right. All right, so okay, so number one, it says, what's a part of your story that you still wrestle with no matter how much you've grown? That's kind of it's kind of deep. Um, I'm gonna ask you guys that too. What's part of your story? What's part of your story that you still wrestle with no matter how much you've grown? For me, I think um I don't know. I'm gonna have to come back to that one. I don't know. That I still wrestle with. I I don't know. I have to come back to that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to come back to that. All right, so let me. What about you guys? Anybody? Do you guys have anything on that? What's a part of your story that you still wrestle with, no matter how much you've grown? Oh shit, yeah, okay, and I can see how that would. I'm sorry to hear that, Renita. I can see how that would literally mess up a person's story. Asserting my own value. Okay, okay. Um, I think if I had to say something, I think, yeah, Jennifer, I think I'd have to. If you don't mind, I would borrow probably some of yours. I would say that yes, I think so. I think that maybe asserting, I think probably just starting, you know what? Just starting stuff. Stop doing all that thinking and just starting. And I still wrestle with that to this day. There's a few things that I still want to do, but I'm kind of like, yeah, hemming and hawing or whatever. And I don't put it out there. I don't say anything, even to myself, because again, if I say it, I got to do it. So, but yeah, that's probably it. Being good enough? No. Hmm. Okay. Actually, being or believing you are good enough. That's a very good question. Yeah. So I love that. So Jerry, Miss Baker, Mrs. Baker has a question for you. That's kind of tight. I'm gonna keep going. So you answer that though, Jerry. Have you ever felt like giving up on everything you teach? Wow, everything. And what pulls you back? Yes, I have thought about giving up on certain concepts of things that I talk about, but not everything. No, and those concepts are. Oh, okay. So is it still have anything to do with that chitter chatter that you have going on in your mind, Jerry? That chitter chatter that you have of your mom going on in the back of your mind. Um. So here's the thing. Yes, very yeah. So do you remember what we talked about? Um, being good enough. So I think not only being good enough, you'd have to be descriptive and be very specific in what you mean by being good enough. Remember what we talked about in that? So it's one thing to say that not believing that I'm good enough, but in what? You are you good enough at being a father? Are you good enough at being a cook, a driver, a husband, a human being? What specifically are you devaluing or you having trouble believing in that you're good enough for? Remember, like we talked about that, we really have to be very specific in what we say because everything that you say can be linked to everything. So you could be like, man, like, I don't think I'm good enough. Okay, well, at what specifically? Because you might actually be right about certain shit. You might not be good enough in this particular area. Now you might not be. Now later on, you might be amazing. Today, you might suck. That's life. So I think you have to be very specific in what you're not good enough in. Thank you, Miss Anita. Words are very powerful, kind sir. So yeah, when we talk about that, we got to be very careful on what we allow to slide out of our dick holes. Sorry, man. But we have to be very careful about what comes out of our mouths. Hold on. Okay, so all of those, yes, I just realized early today I was very depressed. Okay, okay. So if you don't mind, so what does that word mean to you? So, like, what does being depressed mean to you? And for those of you who are new to what we're doing, one of the things that I love doing is asking people what their definitions of certain things are because I think that if we understand the definitions that another person has for something, then you can kind of, I don't want to say help, I will say maybe reframe a different perspective, or maybe be able to at least understand where people are coming from if you understand what certain things mean to them. Okay, so thank you, ma'am. Okay, Jerry, go ahead and uh, tell me that part, and I will. What's one belief that you had to unlearn in order to become the man that you are now? That's a very easy one. I had to learn to ask for help. I had to learn to ask for help because I don't know if it's the black community. I don't know if it's men in general. I don't know if it's fathers. I don't know what it is, but we live in a certain type of culture where asking for help is frowned upon. Asking for help is frowned upon. I don't like that because that's how people feel. They isolate themselves and they feel alone because they feel like nobody here wanting to try to help them. Right. But pride, again, comes from culture. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, yeah, your pride is going to, okay, okay, okay. Jerry, so here's the thing. We can we can dissect this like a lot of different ways, but let's look at it like this, right? First and foremost, I want to tell you, and again, you never said anything one way or the other, but here's the thing. I think that everybody who's alive, except probably monks, have bouts of depression every so often, you know? And again, sometimes it can last a little bit, but it does happen. I don't give a fuck how happy, joy people are. It happens. It's a part of life. But that also is one of those seasonings that allow us to appreciate the good times when we have them. You know what I mean? Like the love that your children have for you, the love that your wife has for you, the the shit that you still have to do while you're still here. Yes, sir. Even the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King, whether people knew it or not, suffered strong, long bouts of depression. Gandhi did too. So, how you feel, my guy? This, I bullshit you not, is human fucking nature. Because tomorrow, my friend, you may not feel that way. You know what I mean? You may not. But just knowing that you're amongst friends, knowing that you're amongst people who fuck with you, who love the shit out of you have every fucking right to be depressed, my friend. Every right. And we're still going to be here to help you pull yourself out of it. That's what we do. That's what friends are for. You know? That's what friends are for. I'm not here out of obligation. You're not here out of obligation. You're not here because because it's a duty. You're not here because I begged you to come. You're here under your own volition. Because we fuck with each other. We built a small little fucking tribe who support the fuck out of each other. For free. For free, my friend. For free. You see what I'm saying? You are not my associate. You are not a colleague. You are not a coworker. You are a friend. Just saying. Friend. I fuck with you for free. I fuck with you for nothing. Just because I can. And I'm choosing you to be my friend. Well, I'm choosing to be your friend. Regardless of whether you're mine or not is irrelevant. I'm choosing to be your friend. That's what a real friend is. That's what we're here for. I will be too, my friend. Christopher said that I had to learn to ask for help to issues, especially when I had special ed. Yes. You know what, Chris? And that's amazing that I was watching and Chris has a bit of autism. Very um high spectrum or whatever, but it's high, whichever one it is. But if you notice, like Forrest Gump, and I'm not comparing you to Forrest, but I'm just saying at the end of Forrest Gump, when Forrest gets that call from Jenny or that letter, and he goes to her house, and she sees that, or he sees that he has a son, and one of the questions that he asked Jenny was, "Is he like me?" You know what I mean? Forrest asked Jenny if that little boy was like him. You sit and you watch this movie for 2.5 hours, and you think that Forrest is oblivious to the way people talk to him, the way people treat him, and the way that he's ostracized. And they think that he's stupid and don't know it. But that was, to me, the best part of that movie is to understand that Forrest understood that he was different. And he knew he was. He just wanted to see if his kid was like that too. So his kid didn't have to go through life like he did. So, nah, man, that's a beautiful thing, bro. And the great thing, yes, man, Renita. Okay, but the great thing about that, um, Christopher, is that dude, you got friends, bro, and you got people who fuck with you. You too. And I'm quick to, and Chris, you know if I don't like you, I will tell you to your face. You know this, sir. You know this, my friend. And Miss Anya will tell you, I will tell you this. You're a good man. You're a good man. I didn't even know that you felt irritable. Um, sometimes, Rebecca, we we tend to not hide our stuff, but I guess hide it, mask it. We we hold that shit in. You let yours out, but a lot of us as guys, we hold that shit in. And I'm even to the point or place now in my life that I gotta let it out. So if I'm feeling a way, I say it because it feels better just to get it out of me, and then go from there. You know? Yeah. And I mean, maybe it's just a thing that this time, we're trying to. Here's the thing. I think that, and I'm just saying for myself, doing these coachings every night, us getting together and talking about this stuff. I think that when we're trying to progress forward, we have to let go of the shit that's been holding us down and kind of keeping us from moving forward in general, if that makes sense. So sometimes we have to, in order to move forward, you got to shake the shit that's been holding you back. And Lord knows I've had to go through that more than once. I know that I have. Yeah, I hear you, Chris. And I mean, that's all I'm saying. Fucking bring it here, man. This is what we're here for. And as you notice, I'm not saying that's what I'm here for. I'm saying this is what we are here for. You see what I'm saying? Y'all may not know what I know, but I do know that collectively, it takes a fucking village to not only raise each other, but to raise each other up. And that shit feels good. Just knowing that you got somewhere to let the shit out, to talk. Even if you're keyboarding that shit, still fucking feels good. You know? Some people talk a lot. There's fucking get it out. Unburden your soul with that shit, man. Leave it here. Give it to us. Let us carry it for a little bit. You know? Just something to think about, man. And I hope it does help, Jerry. I really hope it does, buddy. Number 4, if nobody ever saw you work again, would you still do it and why? So I'm assuming that we're talking about coaching. If I were a multi-millionaire, if I never had to do this again, you would still see me doing the same thing. You would still see me doing the same thing. The only difference is probably where I would do it from. That's the only difference. Not that whether I would do it or not, is where I would do it from. And I would probably spend the rest of the time that God allows me to live taking all kinds of classes and courses, all kinds of stuff. That's what I would be doing. So you would still see me, yes, very much. And the reason why is because I love what I do. I love this. I used to talk to myself for years, talking about like if I was asked this question, how would I answer this? If I was asked that question, how would I answer this? Why do we struggle? Why do we go through this? And I would just come up with all these rebuttals. All these rebuttals. Now I don't have to think about them. I just do it. See what I mean? I hope so, friend. I hope so, man. I hope so. And not only that, though, Jared Bear, but you also have that of an amazing partner, an amazing friend that you just so happen and that you get to call your wife that has your back and that has had your back for many moons. Many moons. And here's the thing. When you guys were here, and again, I've seen you guys interact before, but just kind of watching how you guys interact with each other and talk and chill and this and the other, that shit is beautiful. That's beautiful to see how you guys interact with each other. I know some married couples that I've never seen them smile when they're in the same room. I've never seen them smile while in the same room. When you guys were both here, all y'all was doing was cracking jokes and laughing. I mean, and there was a couple times that me and Jessica was looking at each other while we were looking at y'all, and it almost looked like y'all forgot that we were even there. Between y'all and the kiddos and the cats, it's like you guys were having your own little party. I love that, man. So no, you have the right, every right, to feel that human emotion of depression. You do. You do. Hey, you could take a couple days and be down. Nothing wrong with that. But this is the time, sir, that you also have to remember and appreciate those times like when you guys were laughing with each other. That's the shit that gets people over that stuff. And here's the thing, bro. I go through the same shit. I'll get into them moods like, fuck. Get quiet. Don't say nothing. Feel a fucking way. And then I'll sit down and read a book, play a game, go do whatever. You know, it happens, man. You're not the only one, brother. You're very much welcome. You know what, right? Christopher said if I was a millionaire, you'd still find me shopping at the Dollar Tree and living a simple life. Christopher, me too, dude. Me too. I'll probably send more people to the dollar store for me, but I would still shop at the dollar store. Yes, sir, I would too. Yes, I would too. All right, what's next? What do you fear most when the room goes quiet and the lights go off. Funny enough, nothing. I'm I'm pretty relaxed in general. I watch like some TikTok videos and some shit like that before I go to sleep, but like yeah, but other than that, I can't say that that I'm very much. Hey, what's up, Renita? Gotcha, dear. What do you mean, number five, mice? Oh, she said mice. That's funny. Or rats. That's funny. You know what? Okay, I guess if we're talking about that, but I got, I'm cool. If there's any movement, I'm gonna be notified. I'll just say that. That's so funny. Yeah, for the most, yeah, what we fear in the dark. No, no, okay, I got you. You're so fucking funny. All right, let's move to the next ones. All right, questions for the coach, father, and teacher. Okay, what lesson do you want your son to learn from you, from how you live, not just what you say? To finish the small stuff. That's the one thing, and I just told you guys this last week when I was talking to my son. Do the small stuff, man. It's not the big shit that builds confidence, builds character, builds integrity, makes a man out of you. It's not the big shit. It's those small, tiny, little things that most people do not even think about. So it's to master the mundane, master the fucking simple. Do that. Don't just talk about it. Do that. So if I could teach my son out of all the shit that I could teach him, that's it. Right there. Second thing that um and again I guess you could also I, that's the first thing that popped into my mind because that was the conversation that we had. But it's right up there with keep your fucking word. Be a man of your word. Not a child, because I'm not raising a kid. I'm raising a man. Be a man of your word. If you say you're going to do something, follow through with it. Even if it's that small shit. You know what I mean? What about you guys? What's the one thing that even if you don't have kids, what's that one thing that you want people to know about you or that you hope that they learn about you that they keep doing regardless of whether you said it or not? What's the one thing that you want people to remember, not only remember you for, but they start doing too? What's that one thing? Okay. Listening to ghost stories help me sleep. Okay. What's the one lesson? Okay. Being honest. Okay. So being honest with yourself or being honest with others? Okay. Do what's right no matter what. Even when somebody I don't like wrong, you still do what's right. Okay. I got you. What about you, Jerry? What's the and Rebecca and Jennifer, if you're with us, what's the one thing, what lesson do you want your children or son to know, to learn from how you live, not just what you say? What lesson do you want them to learn? And Rebecca and Jerry cannot be the same thing. It has to be something different. And I'm asking you too, Jennifer. Okay. Okay. You want the kids to learn how to volunteer, how to give. Perspective is everything. Okay. Love that. What say you, Rebecca? What do you want Ben and Max to learn from you by what you did, not what you said? What do you want them to learn? No, start putting some music on here. Take responsibility. Okay, I like that. Okay, all right. So number two, is there anyone that you personally know with a hold on, sorry about that. Okay, so is there anyone that you personally know with a super talent you wish you could emulate and why? I'm asking you guys this too. Is there anyone that you personally know with a super talent you wish you could emulate and why? So there's one person, two things. So this one person has these two things. This one person is fucking fearless in nature, just in general. And not only that, but keeps their word probably more so than anyone that I've ever met. So not only are they fearless in nature, but they keep their word more so than anybody I've ever met. And that one person is Anya. For me, if I could emulate one person, it would be her. And I'm not saying this to be facetious or joking by any means, but Anya is one of those people that, number one, she doesn't give up. And she might put things to the side, but she'll go back to it later, pick it up, and then keep going with it. That's number one. Number two, she will talk to anybody about anything pertaining to her selling stuff. She doesn't care who you are, what you do. She will talk to anybody about anything. I do not have that in me to do that. Number three, she keeps her word more so than anybody I've ever met. And not only does she keep her word, she holds you to your word. So if you said that you would do something for her, or that you needed, hey, can you remind me of something? She will remind you over and over and over and over until it is done. And even then, you'll be so sick and tired of hearing it that you'll be wishing that that shit is over quickly. So that for me, it's Anya that has the super talents that I wish that I can emulate. That's just me. Now, what about you guys? Who has a super talent that you know that you wish that you can emulate, and why? Y'all may not know somebody like Anya, but I'm telling y'all, and this is coming from a life coaching standpoint. You understand? You see how crazy that is? That's coming from a life coach's standpoint. So 20 some years in this, and I've never met anybody like her. Not one person. Not one. And I know a lot of people. But I've yet to meet anybody with her skill set. Not one person. We all got some type of hangups. And Anya does too, don't get that wrong. She does. But when it comes to being fearlessness and talking to anybody, if she's selling something, she will talk to anybody about it. And if she says she wants to do something, she does not let shit stop her. Come on, dude. Tell me that's not a superpower. So how many of you know somebody like that? That have a super talent that you wish that you can emulate? You don't even have to tell me why. Just tell me that, yeah, there's somebody I know. Okay. Okay, so my grandpa, because he literally, hardest working man, used to do 24, oh my God, 24 hour shifts. Had UPS work 14 hours a day as a kid on the farm, literally still moving fast paced in his 70s. Wow. Okay, Renita says a cousin. Okay, what about you, Jennifer? What about you, Jerry Bear? What about you, Rebecca? My good friend Jeff. Okay. All right. And whoever else out here is watching us, what about you? Do you guys know anybody with a super talent that you would love to emulate? What about you, Rebecca? What about you, Jennifer? Okay. Correct. That's, I mean, yeah. If he's been playing the piano since the age of 6, I don't really think it's a superpower. I think it's just more of, just life on a piano, I guess. But I mean, he could also play like he's a superhero. So yeah, it doesn't matter if that's what your thing is, and that's what it is. I love that. Okay, so number three, how do you balance being a guide with still being a student of your own life? That's actually one of the reasons why I don't like being called a life coach, is because life is too big and vast for me to tell you that, oh, I'm a life coach. Like I don't like that term. Like I don't. Um, Personal consultant, um, consigliere, philosopher. I'll take those. But like again, we're asking me personally. I've always hated the word or the title life coach. You're not here long enough to be somebody's life coach. You know what I'm saying? You're not here long enough for that. Even if you were 110 years old, the fuck do you know about life still? Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You could be 100 years old and still be in the best shape of your life and still only know a dot of the vast sea of what we call life. You know a dot. So to call myself a life coach, I've always fucking hated that term. Always. The reason why I use it is because most people, if you use that word, they know what that means. If I say that I'm a philosopher, that doesn't mean shit to certain people, right? May not mean much. But if you hear a life coach, oh, I know what that is. So unfortunately, I have to use the terminology that you would know. I mean, I would love to use consigliere, but number one, you'd have to be Italian. Number two, you'd have to watch fucking Godfather movies. Just saying, you know? So yeah, yes, and I am still a student of my own stuff. But because I'm a student of my own stuff, that means that I hold myself accountable for everything that I teach other people. I hold myself accountable for what I'm teaching you, what I'm talking about on a consistent basis, because I don't want to be seen as a fucking hypocrite. Like that probably scares me more than anything else. I mean, besides being taken away from my kid for some, whatever, that's one thing. But being a hypocrite, to me, that's more scarier than anything else. Just me, though. What's one truth you avoided for years that now shapes everything that you do or that everything that you teach? Just getting started. And you remember when I told you guys, or I taught you guys about Joseph Campbell, the hero's journey? Like that, I've known about that for years. But like living that is so different. It's so beautiful to live that. But I would say doing what I'm doing right now. So let me switch that on you. What's one truth that you guys have avoided for years that now shapes everything you do? Maybe not everything you teach, but the life that you live right now is based off of you avoiding something that you eventually got over, and now you live your life by that. If that makes sense. Give me something, anything. I don't give a fuck what it is. Give me something. Excuse me. Jennifer, you still with us? If you wouldn't mind, I'd love for you to take lead on this. What's one truth you have avoided for years that now shapes everything that you do? Oh man, I thought that Rebecca said something. I'm like, oh man, somebody finally wrote something out. All right, there it is. Happiness is in my own perception and no one else's. I love that. Okay, I like that. All right, thank you, Jennifer. Not everything is, not everything is as it seems. Okay, okay. What about you, Jerry? What about you, Renita? Rebecca? I'm gonna go to the next one. I'm sure that you guys are gonna write something really cool. So, what part of your childhood shaped your approach to coaching more than any certification ever could? I think me growing up as a ward of the state from 7 until I was 19, that probably changed a lot of my stuff. And then losing my business, um, resorting to losing all of my possessions, and then ended up sleeping in my car type shit like that. And again, I was a life coach through all of that. You know what I mean? So the fact that I actually have that experience to go along with it, man, that was pretty deep. That was pretty deep, man. That was pretty deep. I learned not to be so afraid of the world. Okay, Renita. Okay. I like those. All three of them. Thank you. Um, so what's one what's one moment in your life you know changed you, but no one else saw it happen? I think that the day I knew that I became a father, yeah, sorry about that. Um, yeah, being a father, that's one of those moments that you never, that's one of those moments that that you don't get over, man. What about you guys? What's one moment in your life you know changed you and nobody else saw it happen? And the reason why I say that is because it changed a lot of the decisions that I was making at that time. Like it almost seems like I had aim, but I really kind of didn't. Oh shit, that's tight. Okay. Oh man, I would have never known that about you. Okay, anybody else? Anybody else change or is it just us? Anybody else? What about you, Jennifer? I know it can't just be me and me and Miss Renita here. Jerry, when I quit my office job. Okay. Okay, I got you, my guy. Okay, so I'll go to number two. If you could talk to the version of you who was sleeping in your car, what would you say? Take more pictures. That's what I would tell myself. Take more pictures. Take more pictures. I know that might sound, to me, that sounds funny, but I would say take more pictures. Okay, number three. What's one principle you teach that still challenges you? That still challenges you every day? Hmm. Thank you, Miss Anya. Um, hmm, I don't know. I guess I would again, man. Stay solid in my principle and my character. Miss Renita said forgiveness. Okay. Yeah, okay, I get that. For me, it's stay solid in my principle and character. I don't know if it's just one, but I mean my constitution in general. You know. Okay. What about No. Have I ever struggled? Oh, Christopher said being humble. Okay. Have you ever struggled with being fearless? And what does that name really mean to you now? It's just a fucking name. No. It's just a name. Doesn't mean anything one way or the other. I mean, not to me. My son has his middle name, or one of his middle names, is my name as well. So maybe that, but no, dude. No. All right, let's go to the next. If somebody really wanted to understand your purpose, they shouldn't ask what you do. What should they ask? Um, I think why I do what I do. So they shouldn't ask what I do. More like why do I do it? And I think that it's not a thing. I know that my why is for a few different reasons. Number one, I didn't ever want to work for somebody else. Again, I didn't. I don't like that. I'd rather work for myself in some capacity. I didn't want somebody else telling me where I can live, what type of car I can drive, what I can do. I don't like all that shit. That's just me. How much money I can make and whatever. I don't like all that. Um, so that's number one. But I also think that life is a lot easier, at least here in the States, than most people give it credit for. I don't think that life is as hard as we think that it is. I don't. I mean, I know people who've been through way worse than me, who've come back clean on the other side, and I've been around people that haven't really went through shit, who still can't get their lives together. So I think it just depends on the person, honestly. You know, I mean, at least I think so. So anyway, man, I mean, like I said, I think that. Thank you for asking, Chris. I think that most people, I think that most of us make our lives a lot more difficult than it needs to be. Don't think that it's as hard as we make it is, that we make it seem. I don't. I think that if we gave ourselves a little bit more leeway, we could probably find happiness a lot more than we do. I think that we could be a lot happier than we are if we just ease up on ourselves a little bit. I think that most people think that you have to have everything figured out, and that's bullshit. You don't. One of the things that I tell children all the time that graduate from high school, I say, "Do you have a passport?" And I get a, yeses or nos. If you have a passport, I tell people, join the junior UN and get the fuck out of our country. Do not go to college. Go somewhere else for a while. Live abroad. Go travel the world. College will be here when you get back. At that point, you go travel for a few years, come back, you have a better idea of what you plan to do for life. And somebody like me, I didn't know what I wanted to do until I was in my fucking 30s. So to sit and act like, oh, what do you want to do with your life? Why would you tell an 18-year-old fucking kid that? Or even ask them that? They don't fucking know. Some probably do. Some do. Most of them have no idea. So you're going to tell them that in order for you to succeed in life, you need a job, or you need to go to college, get out, get a good education, be in all this fucking debt. And most of the jobs that people get, it's not going to pay you what you went to school for. Like let's say that you spend, matter of fact, let's look at Jennifer, for instance. She spent over $200,000 for her education. There's not many firms that are paying you that out the gate. Unless you've graduated, what is that, cum laude or whatever? Cum latte? Right? Cum laude, whatever the fuck it is. Right? Going to Harvard. I mean, Creighton is obviously nothing to fucking sneeze at. I mean, she didn't get her law degree from fucking DeVry University. So I think we'll be okay. But I'm just saying, what the fuck? The greatest gift I think you can give to an 18-year-old kid who just graduated from high school, personally, get them a passport, give them $1,000, and send them on their fucking way. Obviously with some type of guidance, but let them go live. Go live. Come back at 23 and then go to school. Now, like I said, some kids, they know exactly what they want to do, but for the majority of kids, go. So, I don't know. Anyway, how do you guys feel about tonight's I only went because I thought it was expected of me, but never made me happy. Of course it doesn't. No. No. And that's sad. 200 and some $1,000. Hey, only to work for somebody that's only going to pay you 50 or 60. Maybe 70 if you're lucky around here. So the only way that you're going to pay that back, for the most part, is if you work for yourself. Just saying. I mean, I could be wrong, but Christopher said that most of his time at Iowa Western, he went to parties and drinks and just played around. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I don't understand how that even happened. You went to a 2-year school, community college, bro. You can do that shit on the weekend? She said learn a trade. You don't think that learning the laws a trade, Jennifer? I mean, that's amazing. Like my aunt and uncle are lawyers, and they love what they do. They love it. They work together. They work with I think they work with families that are torn apart or something like that. Yeah, yeah. Do you like being a lawyer, Jennifer? Damn, really? You like the idea of being an attorney, but not being one. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. I would think that shit would be so fun. I mean, but I don't know. I like to read too. All right, sweetie. Idealism met realism. Man, dude. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Man, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to actually figure out a time where we can, uh, me, you, and uh, Jerry and Rebecca can sit down and talk and chill. Man, that'd be very interesting. A very interesting conversation to have. But all right, guys. Miss Anya has notified me that it is 10 o'clock. This is now over. Fucking Miss Anya, I'm telling y'all. She has that young lady is a hoot. But okay, yeah. Give me a couple weeks. Give me a couple weeks and myself, Miss Anya, we'll try to come down. We'll try to see if Chris can get some time off so we can all go down together. Or whatever. So like yeah, we'll try to get something going with that. Cause I think that'd be fun to go down, kind of chill out and all that good stuff. So yeah. Yeah, well we'll get something figured out. Give me a couple weeks for sure. and we will be down there. I know you are. I'd have to ask Jessica to pick up my guy for me, and if she can do that, then we can surely go down on a Tuesday, stay for a while, because I won't have to worry about coming back, because Caden's out of school, so yeah, we can focus on that. So give me a couple weeks, and then we'll come on down. But all right, guys, it is 10 o'clock. Actually, it's 10:02. Thank you guys for enduring the questions with me. There were more, but I just stopped. I'm like, I'm good. There's only 5 more. We're all right. But anyway, we could probably finish them up tomorrow and then kind of talk about where we go from here. So anyway, hell yeah, we can do that, bro. Where's that at, Renita? Good night, Jerry Bear. June. Oh, hold on. Is that on a weekend? Hey, I won't be able to make that. I'm gonna have a training on that day. Yep, I got a training that day. That's on a Saturday, right? Yeah, I won't be able to make that. Yeah, my training is from 9 o'clock until 4. Oh shit. God damn, I'm sorry. Well, hey, let me know if I can let me know if I can submit something or donate something, and I'll donate a couple bucks or something. Oh. Well, yeah, let me know how that goes, Renita. Yeah, I won't be able to make that. But yeah, give us some. Good night, everybody. All right, hey, we'll talk about that again tomorrow, though. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I'll at least be able to donate something. We can at least do that. All right, guys, good night. I will see you tomorrow morning or see you tomorrow night. All right, bye.